All right, so let's talk about how to book Japan Airlines from the US to Japan in business or first class with partner awards. I'll specifically talk about American Airlines for Edgar's Common here. Now, first off, I would have to say I do not recommend putting all your eggs in one basket, especially if it's just airline miles. But let me show you why I wouldn't recommend partner awards for booking with Japan Airlines. So you can use the app to search for this availability, but it is much better. You get a whole calendar view searching on the browser, so I'd recommend you start there. All right, so now we're on the browser. We're searching on the American Airlines website, JFK to Tokyo with redeeming miles. Okay, so here we are. I just picked a random date here, February 19th, and we're gonna look at the availability. We've got business class from 95,000. Now that's on American's own metal. That's the cheapest I've ever really seen American. So now we're in the award calendar feature, which I love and is not available on the app. We're able to search the whole month and see what the lowest you're seeing business class flight here, business or first. So again, we're seeing more 95,000. That's on American's own metal. What we're looking for is business class for 60,000 or first class for 80,000. And those are the partner booking with Japan Airlines. That's what we're looking for here. Okay, not seeing anything for May. Nothing for June. All right, we see 60,000 for July, this Tuesday, the 14th. That's the amount for business class on Japan Airlines. So let's look. All right, we're going to filter for first because we're seeing first here, 80,000 miles. This is LaGuardia with a connection in Chicago and then on to Tokyo. So here we are, 80,000 miles for first class on Japan Airlines. That's really nice. Let's continue through our booking. And here's what we're saying. Choose a different flight or fare. We're sorry, but at least one of the flights or fares that you've chosen is no longer available. So let's continue looking. Nothing for August. September, no. All right, look at that. October 23rd, which is a Friday. We've got 60,000. So let's check it out. All right, so let's filter through for first class. And we're seeing over here LaGuardia to Haneda, and there's a stop in Dallas Fort Worth. And in Dallas, they run the newer first class and business class for Japan Airlines. So that is really exciting. On the A350, you can see it right over there. The Airbus A350, that is a fantastic product. So that is an amazing booking, and we want that one. So let's click continue to try to book. And what are we finding? Once again, choose a different flight or fare. So this happened to me hundreds of times when searching business or first class availability for my trip to Japan back in October. This is called phantom availability, when the site says something's available, but when you click through, it turns out that it wasn't really there in the first place. This is also why I recommend never transferring your points over to something until you know that that flight actually exists, by either calling in or trying to book it like a dummy booking or putting it on hold. Now, these award flights could have existed. Somebody could have had a notification set up, whether Seats.Aero or one of the other ones, and booked it right away when they got that notification. Seconds matter here. And it didn't used to be this complicated. In fact, in October 2019, I took me, my mom, and my brother to Japan in business and first class using American Airlines miles. I was able to find 3 seats on the same flight. Now you can check every day and still end up with nothing. I think this is because of 2 things. Number one, a lot more people are finding out about this hobby with, of course, TikTok, YouTube, things like that, and people are wanting to book these flights. Business or first class to Japan is a fantastic value. Japan Airlines ANA, which I've done videos on, are absolutely amazing. And number 2, with Japan Airlines entering the transferable currency space last year with both Capital One and Bilt, why give your partner awards to the middleman when you can have people book with you outright and have your availability right on your website? And to be fair, Japan Airlines has a lot more award availability on their website. I've done a video on how to book that through their website, and there was a ton of availability we found. There's just not as much booking through partners. So that is why I would not recommend putting all your points in this proverbial basket. So in my next video, I'm going to tell you the cards that I recommend if you're trying to travel business or first class to Japan. These are the cards that I would use. So stay tuned for that.